Ferrari is preparing to take a very aggressive step with its Formula One car. After a disappointing start to the 2025 season, the team has decided to throw everything it has at the SF25, hoping that big changes in the next 3 races will help them return to the front of the grid. This includes a number of updates, and while the changes are not massive at Imola, they are still important. These changes show that Ferrari is serious about fixing the car and trying to make it more competitive. Imola is not just another race, it is one of Ferrari's 2 home events, and the team wants to show progress on their own soil. The SF25 has not lived up to expectations. In fact, it has caused a lot of disappointment inside the team. Early testing already showed that something was wrong with the car. Ferrari did not expect to struggle with such technical balance issues, but that's exactly what happened. It was clear from the first laps that the car was not performing the way it should. It lacked balance and grip, and it quickly became clear that there were problems the team had not prepared for. The Miami Grand Prix was especially painful for Ferrari. Not only did they suffer a disqualification, but the car was also the 5th fastest overall, even behind the Williams. That is a tough pill to swallow for a team that had been aiming to challenge Red Bull and McLaren. Being nearly a minute behind McLaren in the race was a nightmare scenario. It is hard to believe that Ferrari was this far off the pace in a season where they had such high hopes. This result led to serious discussions inside the team. Lewis Hamilton, who joined Ferrari this season, has already been vocal about what needs to change. He has been working with the team to make better trackside decisions, and is pushing for updates to fix the SF25's weaknesses. Looking at the data, Ferrari seems to be at least a year behind McLaren in development, and that's not an exaggeration. It's a real issue. That is why the team is now working hard to improve the mechanical platform of the car, especially the rear suspension. This shift in focus is very important. It means that Ferrari is changing how it develops the car. They are no longer just trying to improve the current parts, they are rethinking the whole concept. The SF25 has deep flaws in its design, and Ferrari now realizes that they can't fix these problems with small tweaks. They need a full strategy change. And this new direction has started right before their home race in Imola. Ferrari's work before the Imola GP shows that the team is serious about making progress. Even if the updates at this particular race are not groundbreaking, both Ferrari drivers, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, have been working hard in the simulator to find the best setup. That was a big problem in Miami, where neither driver felt confident in the car. They are trying to make sure that doesn't happen again. In Italy, from what we know, Ferrari's development program has been significantly altered since the first few races. The main problem with the SF25 comes from the rear end of the car. It doesn't let the car use its full aerodynamic potential. The team has only shown glimpses of strong performance, and most of the time, the car has struggled to handle properly. This is a big limitation, and fixing it will not be easy. Project 677, the code name for the 2025 Ferrari, includes a new front-end layout and a reworked rear suspension. But even with those changes, something went wrong. Some people inside the team believe that Ferrari misunderstood how the mechanical and aerodynamic parts of the car should work together. They may have kept some old design ideas from the SF24, even though this year's car is very different. That might be why the SF25 isn't working as it should. As a result, Ferrari has changed its plans for the season, except for the Bahrain package, which was already prepared before the first race. Every part of the development process has been re-evaluated. The updates for Imola are limited. The team has postponed bigger changes until after the Spanish Grand Prix. This shows that Ferrari is trying to be more careful with their approach and wants to make sure the updates work properly before rushing them onto the car. Barcelona will be a big moment for the team. That race is expected to be the real turning point. The updates at Imola are more experimental and focused on specific parts of the car. For example, the team will test a new rear brake duct system. This change won't be listed as a major upgrade by the FIA, but it could still have an important effect on how the car handles its tires. The goal is to avoid overheating the rear tires by improving airflow and internal cooling. These are the kinds of changes that don't look exciting on paper but can make a big difference. Ferrari is trying to copy some of the strategies that have worked for McLaren, especially in terms of tire management. The test at Imola will show if these small changes are effective. It's hard to simulate real tire behavior in the wind tunnel or simulator, so Ferrari needs to try these updates on the actual track. Technical director Loic Serra is expected to be very involved during the Imola weekend. He wants to personally monitor the results of these updates and guide the team through the process. This is a sign that Ferrari is taking this seriously. They are no longer just waiting for results, they are actively trying to make changes, learn from mistakes, and improve the car step by step. At the same time, Fred Vasseur, the team principal, is trying to keep expectations low. He has said clearly that Barcelona, not Imola, will be the race where big changes might appear. He believes that the front-wing regulation changes in Spain will reset the performance of many teams. Everyone will likely bring a new front wing to meet the tighter flexibility rules, and that could shake up the competitive order. Until then, Ferrari will make only small changes at Imola and Monaco. Vassar says the focus should not be only on upgrades. He believes Ferrari is still not using the full potential of the SF25. He points to McLaren as an example. According to him, McLaren is simply doing a better job of getting the most out of their car. That's what Ferrari wants to change by improving setup work, communication, and consistency. Vassar also said he trusts both of his drivers. He believes Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc are doing their best with what they've been given. In Miami, the drivers qualified 8th and 12th, and that was the best they could do. He believes that both are excellent in qualifying and racecraft, and if they can't get better results, then the problem is with the car, not the drivers. That's why improving the SF25 is now the top priority. Charles Leclerc agrees with his team boss. He said that Miami was not the race they wanted. Even if everything had gone perfectly, the best they could have hoped for was finishing just ahead of Mercedes. That's not enough. The bigger problem is that the car simply isn't fast enough to fight at the front. Leclerc believes Ferrari needs to fix the basic issues first before expecting better results. Ferrari fans want to know if these updates will be enough. That is still not clear. What is clear, though, is that the team has finally accepted the reality of the situation. They are no longer trying to pretend that small updates will fix everything. They understand that the SF25 needs serious work, and they are now taking steps to fix it. That is a good sign, even if the results don't come immediately. The next few races will be very important for Ferrari. They will show whether the team can make progress or if the gap to the front-runners will stay the same. Imola, Monaco, and Barcelona are three very different tracks, and each one will give Ferrari different data. These races will help the team decide which direction to take in the second half of the season. Barcelona, in particular, will be the big test. Not only because of the updates planned, but also because of the changes in the front-wing rules. If Ferrari can take advantage of those changes, they may be able to close the gap to McLaren and Red Bull, but that will only happen if the team can finally unlock the real potential of the SF25. Ferrari has all the tools. They have two world-class drivers, a strong technical team, and the resources needed to compete at the highest level. What they've been missing is consistency and the ability to adapt quickly when things go wrong. The new development plan is a chance to fix that. It's a chance to show that they've learned from past mistakes and are ready to build a stronger future. Even though the updates at Imola are small, the test with the new brake ducts and changes to the wheel corner will provide valuable information. These are the building blocks of bigger changes to come. If these updates help improve tire wear, stability, or rear-end grip, it will give the team a direction for the rest of the year. The goal is not just to go faster but to understand the car better. That understanding is something Ferrari lacked earlier this year. The problems were not just in performance but in knowing why the car wasn't performing. Now, with a new focus on rear suspension and mechanical balance, the team is finally asking the right questions. That's how progress starts, not with hope, but with hard work and analysis. There's still a long road ahead, but Ferrari is finally walking it with purpose.